What's good, NBA family? Today's Saturday, April 6th, and we are back with another recap episode. We're going to be recapping week 24 in the NBA. And I knew for week 24, we had to bring a real special guest on, man. Y'all out there, y'all may know him as TB, y'all may know him as Trill Buckets, but I know him as my dog, Steph. My bro, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably one of my first appearances on camera in the last like month or so. So this might just be the catalyst to have me back. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, the YouTube community, NBA community, we'd love to have you back, man. And for all the people out there, man, y'all gonna make sure y'all check out all of Steph's work, man. Trill Buckets on YouTube. He's dropping great educational content, man, on the NBA. So go get up on that. And I know you said like it's been your first time on camera in a minute. So we glad to have you back, TB.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
man.
it's
Yes, sir.
tough, but hey, we back. We back
We got a lot to unpack today, TB.
for
And let's just
sure.
go ahead and kick it off, man. Let's go ahead and start with news around the league. That's how we like to start all of our episodes. And I want to kick it off with some real big news that we got this week. Unfortunate for the New York Knicks, but Julius Randle is set to have season-ending
Mhm.
surgery on his shoulder. So let me open up the floor to you first, TB. How do you feel about this, and how is that going to impact the Knicks?
You know, I think the Knicks already knew this. They prepared for it. If you look at a lot of their moves during the trade deadline, the writing was on the wall. And I'm gonna be completely honest. If you want to go even further, the writing might be on the wall for Julius Randle's era in the New York. Not I don't want to say as a New York Knick, but more so as their number one guy. I think Jalen Brunson has shown that you can build around him, and we've also seen that it hasn't worked enough with Julius Randle because though he's a monster scorer, he's questionable shot attempts. Sometimes crazy to the point where you're like, bro, get this dude off my team type stuff. Like it gets crazy. But with that said, this extended time away has allowed us to see Brunson by himself while they've slightly adjusted to build around him, and that's actually helped them. They've played pretty well. So I think if they take this offseason a bit seriously with regard to building around Brunson as a whole, Julius Randle might soon be in a New Jersey very quickly. We might see a trade during this offseason, a blockbuster trade. He might get to I can't see them trading him to a team that's not worth anything because Julius Randle is still a guy that can provide quality basketball to a winning team. But I just don't know if it's in New York anymore. Him being hurt, I don't think it moves the needle. Like whether if he came back, I don't know that they're going any further than what they'll go in the playoffs right now. And with him being gone, I feel like they're one of those teams where they are a pretty good team and they're on the precipice of getting to that next level. But we all know they're not quite there yet. So despite them getting better, despite them having an amazing year, I'll say I their ceiling is Eastern Conference Finals, and that's a stretch to me at least. So it's one of those things where it is unfortunate for Julius Randle. Prayers up to him. Hope he has a great surgery, but it's not doing anything, whether good or bad, for this team, in my opinion.
So, in your opinion, whether they had Julius Randle or not, you think that they were still going to make it to same place? They were still going to have the same round
Yeah,
exit? Okay,
I
okay,
do.
okay. So for me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit on the other side of the fence with it. So, the addition of OG, I mean, it looks even better now, right? Because like how you mentioned, maybe you or some other people out there saw the writings on the wall, and especially with the New York Knicks, so they were like, let's bring a player like OG to try to fill in
Mhm.
what we're going to be missing with Randall. But regardless of how you break it down, bro, I don't think OG is going to be able to provide what Randall was doing offensively. I mean, the
Yeah.
last year he averaged 25 points, 10 rebounds. This current season he was playing every game for the Knicks up until he went down, and was averaging 24 points per game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Had a streak earlier this season where he had 19 consecutive games with 20 points or more. So as the scorer and offensively, I do think the Knicks are going to miss out a lot, because especially around playoff time, and you tell me if you can resonate with this, but it's like I think in the playoffs, it boils down to just like who can get a bucket no matter what. Like whether regardless of
Yeah.
or regardless whether it's a two or regardless of you just getting to the line. A lot of the times in the playoffs, it's like you get installmates and or the defense just is throwing you so many different looks your way that you just need a player who can just go get a bucket no matter the
Mm-hmm.
situation. And they got that in Jalen Brunson. But I think to have another one in Julius Randle and now to lose him, like that really, really hurts. And I didn't have the Knicks going all the way, but what I do think is I do think that Julius Randle could have helped him to make it a little bit further because we know Julius Randle of having this like playoff dropper title. But I think the reason that he has that playoff dropper title is because he's been seeing 1A coverages because I feel like every year before last year, he was the 1A guy. Now with Jalen Brunson on this team, I absolutely agree with you. Jalen Brunson's the 1A guy. But what does that mean though? That means that playoffs comes around that Jalen Brunson's gonna get 1A attention and Randall's gonna get what 1B attention, 1C attention, however you break it down. And with that, I think he could be a little bit more successful. So I do think that I mean this is gonna affect the Knicks a lot because like I said, I think you're losing out on a scorer who can just at any time go get a bucket, but also indirectly, another way that this really affects the Knicks, Steph, is the fact that with Julius Randle now being out, the defense says, hey, yo, like all that 1B, 1C attention, let's all put that on Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson's a small guard. So I think this is going to be tough. Talk to
Now
me.
to respond to that point, and it's harder to see it with regard to looking at the numbers, but and it's gonna sound crazy, I know it is,
Talk
but
to me.
in the last 25 games, you want to know who's averaged 20 points? An unsung hero. He's won me a lot of bread in in this
Prize picks?
betting thing
Oh,
too. Yeah, all that. Dante DiVincenzo.
he
He has
stepped
been
up.
hooping out of
Hooping.
his mind. Josh Hart has been hooping out of his mind. Like when we talk about the additions, we do look at the OG Anunoby, the big addition, but those other small additions on the way, they've stepped up to levels that we didn't expect at all. And I think they're helping to fill that void. You got Miles McBride stepping up. Who would have thought he would have stepped up into a greater role than just being a bona fide scorer, being the spark plug kind of guy? He's become a pretty good facilitator for that bench unit. And you know, I personally was like, the Knicks lost all their bucket getters. I felt that way. Emmanuel
Mhm.
quickly out of there. We're not gonna act like RJ is like the best bucket getter, but
He can get a
he has
bucket.
some good games, and he can get a bucket. They had Bohan Bogdanovic for like they had some bucket getters on this team, and it was like, okay, where are they going with the addition of? And I think I'm more so high on DiVincenzo because I was always down on him. And the more I was down and the more I kept saying, he's not going to keep performing. He's not going to keep doing this. He just got better game in and game out. There was a stretch where I remember he dropped 28. That was like the first time I was like, I don't see it. I think it was against Charlotte.
Mhm.
Then he had 30 the next game. Then he had 20. And then against the Lakers, he like rounded it off with 26. And then he went off like a couple nights with 32, 36. And I think he almost had 40 another night. And at that point, I was like, okay, DiVincenzo might be able to fill in this role, especially with two guys next to him that he's comfortable with in Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, Villanova guys that's another portion to it. I'm high on Villanova guys, especially when we get to playoff basketball. Those are some of the most mature basketball players that we see in the league. And yes, it does hurt losing Julius Randle, but I think the kind of heart that those guys got, they can make up for that. Not not so much individually on a nightly basis, but you can get two guys like a DiVincenzo and Hart stepping up this night, or a McBride and a Hartenstein stepping up this night. And if you can get different nights where different guys are helping Brunson, I think that can fill that void of Julius Randle. And I also think that them getting Anunoby was them recognizing that portion of the void, the offensive void, could be
Mhm.
filled, while Anunoby can fill the defensive void. Now we have a culmination of Julius Randle at a much cheaper price tag. So I think that's more so where they were going with that, because like we were saying before, I feel like with Randall, oftentimes we saw the ball stop a lot on the offensive end in his hands, and then we see a BS jump shot go up. So I don't know. I like how they kind of, I guess the best way to put it, they broke Julius Randle into different pieces on this team, pretty much.
I like that. I like that a lot. So I guess to end this little Nick and Julius Randle talk, to you, the Knicks are they're in a great position for, I guess, for the upcoming offseason. Regardless of what
For sure.
happens, they're in a great position. To you, if you're in that Knicks front office, do you go ahead and look to ship off Randle for even more pieces to build, like how you said, instead of breaking up having Randle in one player, you want to have him in a whole bunch of different players and different positions, or do you look to keep Randall?
Well, without really seeing their salary
Mhm.
situation, just
Just hoops,
talking,
yeah.
yeah. That I think that's a guy you keep
Mhm.
regardless. Now I know that goes against what I just said, but we also know this new CBA
Yep,
punishes you for
yep.
shipping off guys, especially guys that you drafted. So it'll probably be fruitful for you guys to either ride off his contract, or and I don't know what his contract is, but if he has a year or two left, then okay, we can ship him off, see what we can do. But what I think might be fruitful for now, try to keep him, integrate him, keep him with the core that you have right now that has been playing well while he's out. See if he can be integrated into that. And that just makes your team that much better. If it doesn't work for the next year, year and a half or so, then okay, we're at the tail end of his deal. We can see about shipping him off, and it'll be at a much cheaper price tag as opposed to how much ever he's worth right now.
I like that. I like that. And for the listeners out there, if you guys for whatever reason were like taken back when Steph said that the CBA punishes players for going over that salary cap, just go ahead and check out my boy TB video where he dropped NBA CBA explained in 10 minutes or less on his channel. He dropped it about like 9 months ago, but it's a great video though. If you want to get caught up on that, make sure to go check him out. Go show him some love.
That's a good plug,
That's a
because
good
I ain't
flag.
gonna lie, that's a good plug. I didn't know where you was going, but you know what's crazy? Like, even though that video dropped so long ago, that video still gets views to this day. Like, if I go
Yes.
look at my analytics, that's one of the videos that's always like still, it's crazy.
Like I said in the beginning, TB, you educating everybody, T. You educating them, man. But all right, T, let's go ahead and keep it pushing, and let's get to our first, I guess, segment of the show here, and that is our league pass teams. So TB, what I got is, I mean, I told you to prepare, two teams that you've been watching on league pass and why. I got two teams myself. I'm gonna go ahead. We can do a little zigzag. You can go first, and I'll go, and then we can go like that back and forth. But TB, who is your league pass team and why?
So my first team is the Houston Rockets. And I think that might be a common team this year.
Mhm.
A lot of us wanted to see what Emi Adoka would be able to do with these young guys. For me, it was more so I needed Jalen Green to beat some allegations. I think he's on the right track. I ain't gonna say he's quite beat him, but he's on the right track of doing that. Um, uh, Amin Thompson, there was a
Mhm.
lot of people high on him, but there was also a lot of people very, very low on him. Love him as a basketball player. He is a great energy guy, great defender, great rebounder for his size. Love him. Cam Whitmore, cannot speak about him enough.
Man,
Dude is a dog, bona fide bucket. And we talked about those Villanova dudes. They come to the league mature. Like, if you see a Villanova guy that's in mock drafts, consider him pretty much a shoe in to be a pretty good player, because Villanova, they breed him well, they breed him right. The main guy, Alperen Sengun,
hmm
my guy.
hmm
I love Jokic. I
he's
love
Jokic light.
Alperen Sengun. He
Yep,
that's what he is.
Jokic
He's
light.
Jokic with bounce. That's what I call him,
For-
bro. That's what I call him. Jokic with bounce. And it ain't crazy bounce, but it is enough to where sometimes he'll jump with AD. I'm like, oh, I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he had that in him. But this is a team. This is a team that reminds me of, the Bubble Suns. You remember that team where they
yes,
were they
sir.
were on the precipice,
TJ Warren.
and then we see them the next couple years. They're like, oh, this is a team to watch out for. Or last year's OKC Thunder. OKC, not many people are talking about it, and I'm gonna have a video on this. But OKC, the key to them really unlocking everything, it was Chet coming back. I don't know if y'all watched JJ and LeBron, but they also talked about it. That slot cut.
Yep.
You get a slot cutter, you get Chet Holmgren replacing him on the hash. Now you have a 7-foot dude on the hash to which your big can't drop to help for that cutter. So either the big drops and you get an open three, or the big stays and you got an open pass down the lane every time. And OKC is killing everybody with that. They're not going to kill the Lakers when we see them first round, by the way.
Come on.
But with that said, the Houston Rockets are going to be a team in the next, I'd say, 3 or 4 years that are going to be in these Western Conference standings that the main channels are going to be like, where did they come from? But we're all going to be like, this is a team that we knew was about to be like this.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if you remember this, John, but I said it. They signed Fred VanVleet to that short contract so that by the end of those 3 years, Jalen Green and all them boys are ready to actually take off, and they don't need them vets no more to teach them.
And I think they did it the right way, though. They did it the right. I think a lot of teams are skipping that step of getting that vet in there, having the vet implement into these young guys as to how you move on the court, off the court, what you got to do to get your body right.
Yep.
And then at some point, them youngins go ahead and just, take off with the reins and run off with it. But I think having Fred there, having Jeff Green there, having these vets there made a world of a difference. Ime Udoka's been doing his thing.
Didn't they get Steven Adams?
They did get Steven Adams, my brother.
Yeah,
and he's still injured. But when he comes back, that guy right there is someone people are going to remember quickly because he was making a huge impact on the Memphis Grizzlies. Totally understand the money ramifications as to why they went the other way. But I think when you bring in Steven Adams, like, that's a bruiser. And as a player, I mean, we know this, TB, like, when you got that guy on your team that nobody gonna fuck with him. It's just like, can't nobody really fuck with me if he on
can
my
do
side.
what you want. Yeah, you can do what you want, say what you want, move how you want, because at the end of the day, you look over that
Big
dude's gonna be
homie over
like, yeah.
That's hella funny. Nah, I feel you, TV. And you know what's crazy is, so last week, and this is how slippery the NBA can be. I mean, last week the Rockets were right there, a game and a half, a game behind the Warriors, and just 1 week, boom, shit goes kind of south. Now it goes 4 games back, and now don't look like he really making the play-in. But they are on the right track, and like how you said, it kind of reminds you of Oklahoma City Thunder, where every year incrementally better, and then all of a sudden you have this big jump. But just real quick, I gotta touch on Cam Whitmore because man, T, because you know what's crazy? I gotta share this with you because you're a Lakers fan, right? I'm so upset because I'm pretty sure we were doing the draft little stream together for when we were doing the KOT back in the day, and
when he was available, me and you both, we were both Cam,
bro. You know what's crazy, TB? This nigga Cam was supposed to be like a top 7 pick, and then the whole knee injury that he got red flagged with the knee injury, so that's why he dropped to the 20th. The Lakers had the 17th pick, okay? And I remember, both me and you were like, we got to pick Cam. I was so excited because I thought we were gonna pick Cam, the man who was supposed to be the 7th pick. We did not pick him. We ended up picking Jalen Hood-Schifino. And what pisses me off even more, TB,
we don't even play him.
We don't play him.
We don't play him.
If this is what we were gonna do to our rookie, why not take a chance on the man who was supposed to?
And I'm so pick? And I'm glad we mentioned that, because when I think about that aspect of it, I end up going, I'm glad we didn't draft Cam. I'm very glad we didn't draft him, because if he was gonna succumb to that. No way, bro.
That's crazy.
No.
Bro, we picked up Skylar Mays on a 2-way contract and played him before our 17th overall pick. Like, I don't get it. And that was a quick Lakers rant I had to go on just because you're a Lakers fan with me. So I know you're gonna feel
me. I feel and then to put the cherry on top.
Go ahead.
The man has a season-ending injury, and it's not even because of NBA minutes. It's because of dumb G League minutes, bro. Come on, man.
That's crazy. Nah, I feel you. But I mean, in that same light, shout out Cam. No, he has been doing his thing. Been getting his chance to ball out with the Rockets. But I love that. I love that pick of the Rockets. But just NBA's slippery slope, and now they about 4 games out of the Warriors. But my one of my league pass teams, my brother, is the Orlando Magic. Man,
I
they're
knew you
right
was gonna
now
say that.
sitting at the 4th seed, 45-32. And the reason why they're
Mhm.
my league pass team, brother, is because honestly, they low key got it all. They got their stars in Banchero and Franz. They got their role players in Suggs, Cole Anthony, Folks, Wendell, Jonathan Isaac, Mo Wagner,
Mhm.
Joe Ingles. And they got an amazing coach in Jamal Mosley. But check this out. Look, their defense has been elite since the All Star break. They're number one rating in defense in since All Star break, and I give that all the credit to Jalen Suggs and Jonathan.
I'm glad you. I'm
Bro,
so glad you said Jay Suggs.
Bro, Jay Suggs, and I don't know if you remember this, but back in our Kia 3 days, I used to say, "Watch, Jalen Suggs is gonna turn
Mhm.
into something because he's just the best pure athlete from his draft." Bro, his defense is so elite. Like, go watch the
Yeah.
Orlando Magic and watch him fight over the top of screens. Like, you damn
Mhm.
near just cannot. If he's guarding you, you damn near just honestly might as well not run a pick and roll because he's gonna fight over the top of that screen. He's not gonna allow for the big man to roll because he's gonna fight over it.
Mhm.
And I love watching him. Wendell's also been doing his thing. Jonathan Isaac, after
Oh.
missing so much time, this man is coming back and proving why he was, back in 2020, 2019, he was in Defensive Player of the Year talks almost every single year, but he would get slept
Yeah.
on because he's in Orlando Magics.
Mhm. You know what's crazy? The Magic would have been one of mine. They
Mhm.
were last year. I don't know how I got it to work last year, but I can't watch them. I'm not allowed to. I'm too
I
close to
know your
Orlando.
national black. Oh my god, bro. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
So,
I can't
like
watch Warriors games, but I don't give a fuck about the
yeah, I
Reds.
wouldn't even see, I wouldn't even sweat that. But it sucks because it's like I could watch the Heat, but I can't watch Orlando.
Oh, that's
It's
crazy.
trash, bro.
That's crazy.
But I somehow, some way, I watched them last year. I don't know how.
Mhm.
I'm glad I was able to watch them last year, but I wish I could watch them this year more than last year.
Yeah, no,
Um,
they are elite.
but
They are elite.
that's a great team, and I'm so glad you mentioned Jalen Suggs on the defensive end because it's I don't know why. I need to edit and get right, but I have a whole script right here, and the title of the video is Jalen Suggs has unlocked the Magic defense.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
You're one of the few people that I've actually heard actually talk about Jalen Suggs. Well, a few people with regard to like outside of Florida and stuff
Yeah.
that actually talk about how he's helped their defense just open
He's
up so much. Dude is a dog, bro.
dude is a
And
just
to
dog.
to your credit, you were probably one of the only ones in the group that actually believed in Jalen Suggs and Jalen Suggs earning a position on this team. Matter of fact, if I recall, most of us, I don't remember what my stance was, so I'm gonna say us. We were saying Jalen Suggs is the first one out of there.
Yeah,
So
I do
yeah,
remember that.
hey, credit to you for sure on that one because it's really true. Like it's at the point now where if you look at this Magic team, Jalen Suggs, you're looking at it like their 2 point guards of the future for shooing is gonna be for sure Jalen Suggs. You're gonna when he gets back. Well, is he back now?
He is back, yeah.
What's his name? Markel Fultz.
Oh, I'm not confessed. No, I don't think he's back yet.
Okay, he's not back, but if he gets right or whatever, like
Mhm.
Markel Fultz and Jalen Suggs in your backcourt defensively is beautiful.
Beautiful. We're
I
talking about like
absolutely love it.
6'4" and up guards chasing you
Right.
all over the court. And yeah, Jalen Suggs just
Terrorizing and they're quick, they're
yeah.
fast, they're athletic. So this team, that team, beautiful team.
You know
I
what it
envy
is,
you.
QB. You know what it is because Jalen Suggs played football, and we know how the football players be
Mhm.
when they get on the court. I mean, sometimes they suck and they just found everybody, but if you could get that perfect in between of like
Yep.
you were like a cornerback or you're a wide
Corner,
receiver,
safety, wide
yes,
out.
those
Those
guys
are the
could hoop. Those guys
Yep.
could hoop. Yes, bro.
Always. And those are the guys where you be like, I ain't
Damn.
gonna lie, bro. You probably should have hooped in high school, bro. Like,
Nah,
but
that's
then you be
fact.
like, nah, because he would have took a nigga spot. Nope, you got
That is facts. Nah, man.
but um
Shout
my
out to Orlando.
other team, nah, for sure. Shout out Jalen Suggs, shout out Orlando Magic. But my other team, and At first I was gonna go with the Western Conference team because I'm more of a Western Conference
Mhm.
watcher, which is ironic with me being on the East Coast. But this year I've found a lot of joy, and it's gonna sound crazy because I shit on this team a lot, and I mean a lot. But I found joy in watching the 76ers.
I
I
like it.
really did
I like it.
because with Joel Embiid going down, I got to see who was who on this team. I got
Mhm.
to see who was really the dogs. Tyrese Maxey proved everything. I mean, not that I doubted him or anything, but he if there were allegations, he lived up to everything that people have been saying he is. Kelly Oubre is a dog. They got
Dog.
him on such a bargain price. One of those. I wanted the Lakers to go get him. I low key said, Lakers, if you can make it work, make it work. Kelly Oubre is one of those dudes where he might just give you 20 on a random Tuesday night that you need to get over that hump to beat a team that you should be on any given night. But again, it's a random Tuesday night. So it's one of those nights type of thing. We need guys like that more than anybody else.
For real.
But the 76ers have, though they've fallen in the standings, they went, I think when Joel was with them, they were like third or fourth, and they fell to eighth. They've still competed in every game that they've played in. And I like to watch competitive ball, but most importantly, they weren't one of those teams that went to a woe is me kind of mindset when their star went down. They was like,
Mhm.
all right, he's down. He's gonna figure out if he could come back, what's what or whatever. But in the meantime, we gonna hoop. And Nick Nurse has, I think he's largely to do with that because I think if they had Doc Rivers, that's part of the reason I hated watching this team. Like Doc Rivers is terrible, bro. He stinks, dog. Like I don't want to go on a Doc Rivers rant, but dog, like why did y'all fire Adrian Griffin for that?
Yeah,
For that?
I agree.
For
I
that,
agree.
bro.
I
Y'all
agree.
fired Adrian Griffin for him to put people on the corner and watch Dame and Giannis do what they do, admittedly, but like you're not winning, bro. You have a losing record since you came to this team, dog. This dude is oh, this man is living off of '08, man.
Nah, I
Like,
ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They brought him in because of the experience or whatnot, but it's like, bro, since '08, like what real deep true playoff experience does bro have?
and then when we talk about his schematics, his IQ basketball wise, he's never had a Damian Lillard. How is he gonna know how to use Damian freaking Lillard? He's always. Please tell me the last. Please tell me the last time Doc Rivers had a non-playmaking point guard. I know
I
James
can't.
Harden is a dog, but he didn't get Houston James Harden, so we can't even mention that dude.
Yeah.
He had Chris Paul. He had Rondo. Like, how do you expect this dude to figure out what to do with Dame and make it work with Dame? He's never
Scoring
had
first
anything
guard.
like that.
I agree.
And then look past the scoring first. This is a 3-point shooting dude. Like, this is a Steph Curry type of guy. We've never seen Doc Rivers draw up elevator screens, ghost screens, slip screens to get your point guard open on the 3 points. Like, come on, bro. I've never seen that from Doc Rivers. So for me, it's like I know y'all being the front office was looking at it defensively, like, yeah, we're still winning, but defensively, we're not stopping teams the way we need to be stopping teams. But if you look at the numbers, for one, y'all still aren't doing it. Y'all are just scoring less.
Mhm.
That's one. Two, the fact that y'all aren't doing it still, like y'all aren't defending like that still, and your offense doesn't look like it's elevated any. When y'all get to the playoffs, it's about to get spooky.
It's gonna get very
It's about to
spooky.
get
It
it's
is
about to
about
get
to.
hectic. And y'all, I swear to God, y'all don't want to see Miami. I swear to God, y'all don't want to see them, bro.
And look, you know what's crazy, TB? I'm really happy you brought up the defense because I understand like organizationally wise, like you're seeing the drop off from last year to this year on the defense, still when Agent Griffin was still there. And I understand, you're like, oh, I gotta do something. I'm not just gonna I'm not just gonna sit on my hands and do absolutely nothing. So then they go and they fire Agent Griffin and they bring in Doc, and they were hoping that it's gonna help the defense. But what I think something that people keep overlooking, and I've said this so many times on this channel, is that it's like you guys realize you replace Drew Holiday, one of the best perimeter defenders, with Dame. Why? Why? What did you not think your defense was going to drop off
Like, what did you
dramatically?
think was gonna happen?
What? All right, my fault, family. We had a quick little technical difficulties, but anyway, TB, like we were saying, the Bucks are surprised that their defense had a dramatic drop off from last year to this year, but they keep overlooking the fact that they replace Drew Holiday with
Mhm.
Damian Lillard. Doesn't make
And
sense
then
to
they're
me.
trying to match Malik Beasley as they're trying to have him as a defender. Like, admittedly, he has become a better defender, but like, it's like, are we really like counting it? So
Yeah.
you got. That's what I was gonna say before the technical difficulties. I remember now. It
There
hit.
you go.
Y'all gonna hate to hear this. Y'all really are. But as a point of attack defender, Giannis sucks at that. He is an awful point of attack defender. So you got guys on the court that cannot really defend, surrounded by Brook Lopez, which is why Brook Lopez has been frustrated a lot of the time. Like, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but on the defensive end, when there's a missed assignment, Brook Lopez is like, what, like this 90%
Mhm.
of the time, like, bro, what is going on? Because you got Dame, Malik Beasley, Giannis, and I think Middleton is back now.
Yeah.
These aren't like, Giannis is a great help side defender. I won't take that away from him. But aside from that, those four guys are not the best point of the attack defenders. They're not the best one-on-one defenders. And it's showing.
Yeah.
You replaced a DPOY caliber guy with a guy that hasn't needed to play defense his whole damn career.
Yeah.
So what you think gonna happen? The issue is they thought adding this guy in Damian Lillard would uptick their offensive production so much and make them such a good offensive firepower that that defensive drop off wouldn't have mattered. The issue comes when, why do y'all have Giannis playing pick and pop with Damian Lillard?
Yep.
Why is that happening? Why are you getting a non-shooter popping?
Yeah.
It's not making no sense to me. What y'all should be doing, have Dame and Brook run the two man. Let Giannis either roam the dunker spot or cut off of that. Let him run the two man on the weak side with Malik Beasley. Get him off ball action. Have these guys moving away from the ball so that Dame, who loves the high pick and roll, who loves the pick and roll, so that he can work off of that. You still have Giannis on the backside, still in actions, ready to do something, not just taking up space, not just standing there because he can't shoot. And that's largely your issue. You have a big guy that can't shoot. And when it gets to playoff time, that Bucks offense is about to be disgusting. It is about to be
Disgusting.
so nasty, bro.
Disgusting.
Especially because if, say, they win game one or win game two, also one and two, I'm gonna tell you now, Doc Rivers is not changing that offense. It's not
Yeah.
being changed. It's cooked. It's wrapped. Y'all are gonna see that same game plan for the rest of the playoffs, and it's gonna take you as far as it takes you, bro. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's gonna be bad. The Bucks fan base are gonna be sick.
Gonna be
Simple.
sick. Honestly, I think earlier you were alluding to that slot cut. I think that's what they
Mhm.
should have Giannis doing. I mean, Giannis could
Bro,
be in that slot cut, bro. You have Giannis
who's
coming down
stopping
the lane.
him?
Who's stop exactly, bro? Giannis coming down the lane with a head of speed, bro. There's no one stopping him. He's either putting it on your head or he's going to the free throw line. So, in my opinion, I think that's something that they should implement into their offense a lot more. But also, I say this with the Lakers a lot, or with LeBron and Anthony Davis, but it's like when LeBron and AD run, those pick and rolls, it's still one of the most unstoppable plays like
Mhm.
in the NBA. The only problem is LeBron is 39 years old. He can't do that for an 82 game season every single time down court. Giannis and Dame, I'm not gonna lie, Dame is 33, Giannis is 29 years old. There's no too much excuse as to why you can't be spamming that play over and over and over.
Literally.
Because to me, bro, it's gonna be like, okay, let's run this high pick and roll. Like how you said, you're either gonna double Giannis and leave Dame open, and that's hand down, man
That's
down.
he's getting 70.
We yeah, there you go. We know how that's going. Or if you want to double dame too much, you just simply
Giannis is
throw
getting 60, 70.
come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then even if that's the case, even if they bring that third help defender into the paint, Giannis can grab down the short roll and kick it to his shooter in the
Mhm.
corner into Chris Middleton, which is
Now you
another
have
point.
Chris Middleton, Brooke
Hmm.
Lopez, and Malik Beasley standing there ready to shoot. Your
Hmm.
offense has the spacing. Y'all can make room to do what y'all need to do. Like my, you know what? I just realized I hijacked this because we was really talking about
We
the
was I was gonna
76ers.
say the same thing.
But
I love it though. I love it. This is how real hoops talk go though. I love
on
it.
God. But hey, Doc Rivers, listen to us. If you listen to us, you might just have some success this playoff season.
You might have a
If
chance.
not, kiss it goodbye.
Goodbye. And then come back to us and tell us we was right, man. But all right, TB, let me get to my second league pass team, and that
Mhm.
is a team who's actually currently on a 4-game losing streak right now. But it's the Pelicans, okay? The Pelicans right now. When I wrote this, they were in the 5th seed. They dropped now to the 7th seed. They're in the 7th seed at 45 and
Mhm.
32. And the reason why they're my league pass team, bro, is because they're really deep at that wing/forward position. You know, they have Bi, they have Zion, they have Herb, they have Trey Murphy, Larry Nance, Najee Marshall, and all these guys understand their role. But the biggest reason why they're my league pass team, bro, is because as of late, I don't know if you've been watching many Pelicans games, but Zion has been playing expectations. Last 10,
That boy
26 points per
hooping.
game, 7 rebounds, five assists, 64% from the field, playing aggressive. On March 28th, so it's like a couple days ago, Zion had his
Mhm.
19th game where he scored 25 points or more on 60% or better from the field.
Shit.
The only other player to have that 19 games or more in a single season was Zion in 2020 and 2021. We had 20 we had 23 games. And bro, when I tell you Point Zion has been activated, Point Zion is here and here to stay. Like I'm talking about his decision making has gotten so much better. I feel like his first couple years in the league, he would just kind of
Mhm.
rely on the fact that he's bigger and stronger than everybody. So he would
Yeah.
just kind of put his head down, and it worked. It worked. So I can't really hate on it. But now, bro, they're running that inverted pick and roll with CJ and Zion is just making the right decision. Like he's not just putting his head down and getting to the hoop. If CJ flares out for the three, he's hitting CJ.
Yeah.
If that's not open, then he's getting to the hoop. I just think his decision making is better. He's making others better along with himself. He's playing aggressive, bro. So I ain't gonna lie, that's my league pass team. I've been loving the
That
Pelicans.
was that was almost a team I picked. I'm not even gonna lie, because I do like watching them, and it's all right that they on a 4-game losing streak because I'm pretty sure the Rockets are as well.
Yep.
So it's cool, but they're they're a lot like the Rockets in the sense that every game I watch, every game I turn on with them, they're competing, and
Mhm.
I think there's something to speak to. If you watch League Pass, you know this. You look at the list of games, there's certain teams, well, logos, because you're gonna see the
Mhm.
logo there, that you're gonna be like, I'm not watching that. No matter who they're playing against, I'm
Feel it.
not watching that. The Pelicans are one of those teams where it's like, nah, if nothing else is on, I'll watch this team.
Yeah.
This is good basketball to watch, good hoops to watch. Except for when CJ McCollum becomes a terrorist. But we're not even gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Zion. Point Zion is a dog. Um, it's crazy because I can't believe I was talking about the Thunder leveraging their picks to trade for Zion during the off season.
Go
But
crazy.
nigga, imagine if that happened. That'd be
That'd
that'd be
be tough.
insane. Yeah, I think the Nuggets would actually have comp. But nah, that's a solid squad. I'm not even mad at that. I like watching them too. So I
You like that as
sometimes I
well.
can't stand seeing their jerseys. It's nasty,
It
but
is
other
nasty.
than that, they a good team to watch for sure.
Okay, I like that. All right, TB, let's keep it pushing because I need to know some. We're gonna get to our next segment, and that is who is/who has. So I have some statements here for you, and I'm really excited to get into some of these with you because I'm trying to see what you thinking here, TB. So let me get it kicked off with the number one statement that I got here, and that is who has the most pressure to win an NBA championship this year. Now, this is player and
Mm,
team, so I need two answers here. And I can go first if you want me to go first, but if you need some time to think on it, it's up to you.
I'm gonna start with team first.
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
start with team first, and it might be a tie between two teams. It might
Okay,
just be a tie. Because I told myself I was gonna get to a decision once we got to this point.
okay.
Didn't do that. So I'm gonna go between Boston
Ooh, I like that.
and the Clippers. Because with Boston, we've seen you there the past 5, 6 years. Since Jason Tatum has been a rookie, we've seen you there. It's time to get that dub. It's
I
time to
agree.
get these.
I
It's
agree.
time. I think that we all understand that. So I don't really have to go in that too much. With the Clippers, though, they're under a lot of pressure because it's at a point where we started this era when LeBron came to LA, and no matter what, we're gonna be compared to what the other team in LA is doing, and they won a ring in their era. We've yet to do that for one, and two, the NBA is one of those things where once your core is on a team for about 5, 6 years and it doesn't quite amount to anything, it starts to get to that point where it's like, all right, we gotta start looking in another direction. We gotta start figuring out who we gonna move. I'm seeing Paul George trade rumors, like
Hmm.
those kind of things start trickling in and stuff. So, with that said, the one thing that shuts that down and shuts that all up is winning a chip. And it would be so great. Like I'm not speaking as a Laker fan, just as a California native, a
Hmm.
SoCal native. Do you know how dope it would be to open Intuit Dome with a banner, bro? That
That'd
would
be
be
lit.
so crazy,
That'd
dog.
be lit for
That would
sure.
be so crazy. You open Intuit Dome with a banner,
For sure.
you just christen your new arena, bro,
For
with the
sure.
best thing you could ever christen it with, dog. Like that would be insane. So I think it works because they're two different conferences, so we could go with the two there. But those are my two teams.
I like that. I like that. Honestly, the Celtics nod, that was a great nod. To be real with you, like it didn't. I think it was so clear that it didn't really even cross my mind. But yeah, you're 100% right. It's like, bro, you've been there so many times. Like you got to get there. But
Yeah.
like how you said, I also have the Clippers, and it's funny that I have here on my little notes I took here. I said, at what point do you look inside and decide that it's not working and go in a different direction? Because that's literally what I had, bro. It's like they've been together what since 2019, 2020, and
Hmm.
every single year they have came up short. Regardless for what it is, every single year they came up short, and
I'd
it
say
really,
shorter than short.
yeah,
That's the worst part about it. Like they haven't
yep.
even have they gotten to Western Conference Finals yet? I don't
I
even think
I
they
don't
got to
think I
that.
think they lost to the Suns before they got to the Western Conference Finals. I think.
Like then you got Luca being your daddy. Like
Damn,
y'all
yeah.
gotta figure it out, bro.
Yeah, I agree, bro. And PG still got to sign his extension. I'm pretty sure Harden's an unrestricted
Right.
free agent after this season. So it's a lot of decisions they got to make, bro. And like how you said, winning cures it all, and that would cure all
Hmm.
those decisions. Put up, but bro, like I love the nod about opening up your new arena with a banner. Like, bro, there's no
That's
better way to do it.
crazy.
Like that'd be the littest thing ever, bro. Like
Man,
so.
I'd be in Inglewood, bruh. I'd be in Inglewood and into a dome cheering y'all on. You know what? I'd be sitting there like y'all really put on for Cali, bro. Like
Yeah.
all these 17 is fire. Don't get me wrong. I was alive for 6 of them.
Mhm.
Fire. But y'all finally got y'all own arena and y'all
Put a banner
City
on
of
there.
Champions.
Come
City of
on.
Champ. You a city, you part of it now.
You part of
The
it.
only
Nah, I
team
feel it.
not part of it is the Angels.
I feel it. And oh, the angel, don't do that to the Angels. Come on, T. But look, and what's crazy is like how you said, it would put everything to bed. That's about like I think the Clippers would always be Lakers, little bro. I'm not even saying as a
Oh
Lakers fan. I
yeah.
just think that's
Yeah,
just Laker
that there's
town.
no question.
But I just think as in the sense of like you're just putting so many things to bed, like as far as like, oh, this team isn't legit, and you've had all this time together. So I think that the Clippers, in my opinion, got the most pressure. But now I'm going to turn it to you and say, what player has the most pressure to win an NBA championship this year?
That was a lot tougher because it's like a lot of players are young,
Hmm.
so it's like they still got that time to where they have time to prove it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But then at the same time, I don't want to keep harping on KD because it's like that's the easy pick. That's the one that's like
Hmm.
And even though I don't want to keep harping on him, I got to. Bro. You're on the chopping block, my nigga. Like it, you need to win a ring by. I don't. Technically, it's not by yourself, but you being in Phoenix, winning a ring is so different from winning it in Golden State.
So
And if you
different.
do it there, especially at this age, especially at this more vet like presence that you have,
Mm-hmm.
then it's more so gonna be like we already know who KD is. We respect him as a hooper and all that. But you're solidified, bona fide champion. There's no question. There's no asterisk. There's no anything about it. You're a champion now, and like I said, that might be the easy answer, but it just is what it is. That's especially as a real hoop head. It was weak as hell you going to the Warriors. Like I can admit as a basketball player, yeah, I would love to play with the best of the best. I'm not going over to play with the best of the best after they beat me
There
though.
we
I'm
go.
not.
There
It's
we
that's
go.
not what that's not what's up, bro. Like
Steph,
so,
look,
yeah.
this is where in the show some people are gonna get triggered because I am right there with you. Okay. Kevin Durant has the most pressure to win a championship. And here's where people are going to get triggered. I've said this on Kia Threes. We had actually a huge debate. All of us,
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about this. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Okay. All I can give you is my opinion. Those rings he won with the Warriors, to me, in my eyes, are not valid. They are not valid to me. It's like you want a ring, like how you said, business decision. Totally get it. You wanted to go there. You wanted to win a ring. You wanted to help your legacy. Totally get it. Do your thing.
Yep.
Good job. But as a basketball player, just as a strictly as a hoop head, as a basketball player, I cannot see you being up on a team 3-1. They come back on you, and then you go and join that team. And that team also, the year before he joined, was record wise the greatest team
The
of all
greatest
time,
team we've ever
greatest
seen.
team we've ever seen. And then now you're putting maybe the greatest player to just go get a bucket at any point in time on that team. And you mean to tell me that there's any type of competition? Like, no, like to me, there's
There's
no type
not.
of competition. And then on top of that, the way he went out with the Warriors, right? So the whole Draymond Green and him situation where Draymond, chewed
Yep.
him out or whatnot. And then KD came out and basically saying like he's gonna make them eat his words. That's why he ended up going to Brooklyn, right? That's why
Mhm.
he went to Brooklyn. He said he wants to win as the guy. He wants to win as the guy, as the focal point. Well, bro, he's yet to do that. He's
At
yet to
all.
do that at all. And the Warriors have. And that's the crazy thing is the
That's
Warriors
what's even
have
they won without you twice.
twice,
Twice,
brother.
bro.
Twice,
Before
brother.
you and after you. So everything Draymond said is valid
It's
now.
valid.
It's so valid. And you
It's
can't be
valid.
mad at it no more.
And it doesn't, and what Kevin Durant is saying and his actions don't become valid until bro wins a championship. Because
Mhm.
like I was just saying, bro, I mean, it's my opinion. I just think those championships are fluke to me, bro. It's an asterisk next to it. It's like, bro, you were literally probably the best player in the league at the time, and you joined the best team in the league. Did you
Facts.
not think you were gonna win a championship? So I don't know. I
No,
know some
I
people
feel
aren't
it.
gonna like it, but that's how I feel about it. That's how
I
I feel.
feel it like it counts for the sake of us like being realistic about hoops, but like if we're talking just barbershop talk
Yeah,
basketball, like which I think is the purest form of just talking
that's
hoops,
what we doing here.
that's what I'm saying. Like, nah, bro, it was weak.
It
It
was
was
weak.
weak,
It
bro.
was
And
weak.
anybody with a competitive bone in their body is going to tell you that same thing. That
Yeah,
was weak,
it
dog.
was
Like
weak. I
even
can't
I'll go
even do
play
that.
pickup and
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
doing
say the
that,
same
bro.
thing. I
Like,
can't even do that at 24-hour fitness. Like,
yeah,
if a
like
team
I'm gonna
is
go
killing and
find
somebody
four
go
that
home,
right. Like I'm gonna find four that's been getting killed like I have been to the with
yes,
the rest. And then all right, us four, we gonna kill them because they've been whooping our ass all day. I'm
yes,
not
bro.
joining them, bro.
That's
That
crazy.
one of their dudes leave. Oh yeah, let me join. Let me hop on with y'all. No,
Nah,
bro.
I'm straight.
Y'all good. Pick up somebody else. We gonna bust y'all ass.
Nah, I'm right there with you, TB. Nah, that's crazy. But all right, my boy, let's keep it pushing. Who
Hmm.
is most likely to finish as the number one seed in the West? That's a tough race.
Most likely, it is a tough race, isn't it?
It's the
Currently between Denver
Nuggets,
and
T Wolves,
OKC, right?
and
And T
OKC.
Wolves.
Yep.
Okay.
Currently, and I'll go ahead and
And
list
then
it off for the people as of right now. OKC. Sorry, the Timberwolves are in the number one seed at 53-24. Denver Nuggets are in the second seed at 53-24 as well, and then Oklahoma City Thunder's in the third seed at 52-25.
So without personally, without knowing the rest of their schedules or anything,
Hmm.
because that was one of those things where I was like, I don't like doing that for the end of the season because some teams will sit guys, some teams
Yep.
stop caring, some like I'm pretty sure Minnesota, they see the Lakers. The Lakers are trying, whereas Denver, I know they're seeing Utah and the Spurs, so it's like that does factor into it and make it a lot more fruitful for a team like Denver, but Denver, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't own the tiebreaker between those two
Mhm.
squads. I'm pretty sure their conference record is worse than the two. Um, so it's mathematically Denver would be in that third slot, but looking at their schedule, it's like okay, they can beat the Timberwolves. That can be their tune-up game for the playoffs. You feel me? And they could say we want the number one seed and really play them because they do have them. OKC doesn't have the Timberwolves or the Nuggets to end the season. So I think that makes it gives a wide open door for the Thunder because say Denver does beat Minnesota, now Minnesota is below Denver pretty much regardless because I think they play them the third to last game. So at that point, I don't see Denver losing to the Spurs or Grizzlies. So they're probably going to win out. So with that being said, OKC owns the tiebreaker against Denver. So with OKC playing the Hornets, Spurs, Kings, who I they play the Kings pretty well, but I like OKC in that matchup. Then they finish with the Bucks and Mavs. I can see OKC getting that number one seed strictly because they own the tiebreaker against Denver. And I think Denver will take that matchup against Minnesota seriously. And that will be to Minnesota's demise with regard to getting that one seed. Um, but if OKC does drop a game against the Bucks, that will see Denver as the number one seed. So I think it'll be most likely OKC. But if
Mhm.
OKC drops one of these games, it's gonna be Denver.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there with you, bro. Yeah, like how you said, the Nuggets don't own the tiebreaker with neither the Timberwolves nor Oklahoma City Thunder. But before I give my answer, I do think that like the Nuggets are the best team of all three, though. Like out of
Yeah,
all these,
for
they're
sure.
they're the best team. But like how we said, I think their chances are just much smaller without owning the tiebreaker. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a big believer in like life, like everything that you want is on the other side of like how bad do you want it or how bad do you need it.
Hmm.
And I think the Oklahoma City Thunder, like they really need this first seed. I think it will help them
Facts.
more than it will help the Nuggets, more than it help the Timberwolves because right now Oklahoma City Thunder they have the best record in the West for home records at 29-28 and the second best record in the entire league for having the best home record. So to me it's like
Mhm.
it looks like a little thing, but having a home court advantage, bro, like could play out and be such a huge factor into this. So I think for Oklahoma City Thunder, like they need it most. And with that, I think they're gonna be able to inch their way up to that number one seed. I ain't
They
gonna lie.
they also need it because being at the 1 seed, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 spots for the play-in are the Lakers and Warriors. Being the number 1 seed, that makes it that much harder for one of those 2 teams to see you in the
Mhm.
first round, and Imma be honest, I think those are the 2 teams that have the best shot to eliminate OKC
I
or
do.
Minnesota. So if if OKC does get that number 1 overall seed, off tops, they're not playing the Warriors or the Lakers because those are the bottom 2.
Mhm.
So off tops, one of those is eliminated. But now it's an even longer journey for, let's say, the Lakers do win that first playing game. It's harder for them to get against that 1 seed at that point. So I think that would be best for OKC because I mean I'm low key alluding to it now, but I think if OKC has to see Golden State or the Lakers, it's gonna get
Ugly,
kinda,
quick,
yeah, and,
quick.
like, I don't know if y'all are ready for that, OKC fans, but, like, y'all can very easily be a first round out this year, bro.
Yes, yes, a 1-8, my 1-8 loss, man. But look, AB,
Yeah.
I think you transitioned it great. So let me just get to my next who's most likely to. So out of all the play-in teams, so for the West, it's the Lakers, Warriors, Kings, and Pelicans. And for the East, it's the Hawks, Bulls, 76ers, and Heat. Who is most likely to, and I need one from each conference, be the biggest like playoff like nightmare matchup?
So if speaking strictly playing versus
I'd like
the
yeah, like so
okay,
those playing teams that are eventually going to become like the eighth seed or going to become
right.
the seventh seed. Like who is most likely to from both conference to be like a playoff nightmare matchup?
So with the Eastern Conference, it's crazy because it's normally just Miami, but this year with Joel Embiid, bro,
Thank you,
Joel Embiid
thank
coming
you.
back, the way he
Changes
looks coming
everything,
back,
everything
bro, like it
changes
was
everything.
at first I was like, bro, why is he coming back like that? He's not gonna be in shape, whatever, whatever. But the first game, and I know he was worn out, but that was more so I'm a gas out this game to help me for my endurance the later back half of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it was one of those things for me where it was like, okay, it's good that he's gassing out now. Whether y'all realize it or not, them playing games still strengthens your endurance. That's still a workout. So him gassing out the way he did, that's helping him in the back end. So he was hooping. He gassed out, hooped, won the game, and that was like, okay, this is a team that if they play the Bucks, the Bucks are done. The Bucks are
For
done,
real,
bro.
bro.
Like that's gonna be my first prediction. Bucks in five, or not Bucks in five, Sixers in five if they play the Bucks. Like
Damn.
straight like that. And I'm not even joking. It might sound crazy, but that's a nightmare matchup because of the way that Embiid looks and has come back. I'm not gonna say Heat because I don't want that. I don't want to pick the low hanging
Yeah.
fruit. I don't want to do that. And also the 76ers, like they're always a dark horse. They're always a team that they can beat you if they're coached right. And they have Nick Nurse now. So I have more faith in them being able to beat you in one of those, those games that are on the fence and you're not quite sure. Not so positive when it's Doc Rivers. And guess who they might be playing first round? The guy that I don't have faith in, Doc Rivers. So if we see that matchup, first of all, if we see the Bucks eliminated, the Celtics are going to the finals. There's
Yes.
no like I don't think there's any other team with the firepower that the Bucks have. So that's probably how that's gonna go. But I actually want to see the Bucks get dog walked because I root for the demise of Doc Rivers. He stinks, bro. He stinks.
He does.
Do you have an East team? I could let you go, or do
Nah,
you want me
I'm
to do
I'm
my
right
West
there with
team?
you. I agree. It's 76ers, bro. With
Okay.
Joel Embiid returning, it's like the team that they were just all playing the regular season is a totally different team. So yeah, I'm right there with you. 76ers for the East. Who you got for the West?
So the West, the West is harder because it depends on how the matchups fall. I'm gonna go with what I want the matchups to be as opposed to what they'll likely be.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers are terrifying. And
Terrifying.
this ain't even home cooking right now. Like this is real, like
Real deal.
real
100%.
deal. Do you know this team is hooping right now? Like, like
Hoping.
it's not even like I am a fan. Don't get me wrong. D'Lo's doing his thing. Austin Reeves, I don't look at Austin Reeves as a guy that's like, I don't know if he's gonna hoop tonight. I look at him now like, nah, he's gonna get his.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's gonna get his. You got Ruri doing what he needs to when we need him to do it. Jackson Hayes is I hated the addition.
Yeah.
He's playing so well for us. Like that's a tough team, especially if they see a team like the Timberwolves or Thunder first round, because you see one of those two teams. And you know what? I saw a clip. I saw a clip. I believe in playoff experience.
I do.
I am one of those.
Ah!
I am one of those that believes the OKC Thunder and their lack of playoff experience is going to bite them in the ass. Mark Daigneault is an amazing coach.
Yeah.
He's terrific. But if you saw the latest episode of JJ and LeBron, They were talking about OKC and some of the things that they do, and Braun was like, "There are a couple ways to defend it, but I'm not gonna say it
I
here
gonna
because we
say
might match up with them." So I was like, seeing that, it kind of confirmed what I was already thinking, which was like, they see a LeBron matchup, that's gonna be a tough matchup because those young guys don't know how to. They don't know basketball the way Braun knows basketball.
agreed.
None of them do. So
Agreed.
yeah.
Look, so for the West, I agree with you. I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Lakers as being the most scary matchup. And I think regardless of how you break it down, against the Timberwolves, I do think the
Hmm.
Timberwolves have a little bit of a better chance being the Lakers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's not even like in at least in my opinion, it's not even necessarily because of the inexperience. I think it's because of like the matchup problem that AD will cause on Chet. Like it
Yeah.
will be a real matchup problem. I mean, Yusuf Nurkic the other night against Chet had like 31 rebounds,
Bully.
and all
He gets bullied against guys like that.
bullied, right? And then Anthony Davis, not only is he going to be able to bully him, but Anthony Davis also has the skill to bring it out, right? Like
Yeah.
bring it out on him. If Chet wants to come out, he can meet him out there. If Chet wants to go inside, he can do that in there. And I think that is just going to combat so much of what Oklahoma City Thunder is
Hmm.
doing versus if we were to play the Timberwolves. I think that like Anthony Davis, he could give Carl Anthony Towns the work. He could give Rudy Gobert the work. But the only problem is if he gives let's say Carl Anthony Towns doesn't come back, even if it's Naz Reid, he can
Hmm.
give one of those guys the work. But and then all the Timberwolves really have to do is put Rudy Gobert as that secondary roaming defender. And then
Hmm.
as soon as AD, turns around for that little post hook after he gave Naz Reid an elbow, here comes Rudy Gobert cleaning shit up.
Right.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder just simply do not have that. So
They don't have that
um
secondary interior force.
they
As
don't.
soon as you pull out Chet, that's free cuts for Braun. That's
Yeah.
free. You just have AD on the perimeter. Braun is driving all game long. All
Yeah.
game long. Y'all, if the Lakers go delay or 5 out, for
Mhm.
those that don't know, LeBron is going to the cup every
Every time.
possession, bro. There's
Every
nothing
single
Lou
time.
Dort is doing. J Dub might like put up a fight here and there, but 7 games,
Yeah.
I
Every
don't
time.
know.
Every time. And another thing is when you play playoff basketball, remember how earlier in the show I alluded to LeBron James and Anthony Davis like running that pick and roll, how it's so unstoppable. But
Hmm.
you can't do that 82 game season. But you can do that in the 7 games in the 7 game series
Yep.
because you have a day after a game to be able to rest, to be able to get back. So LeBron and AD, as long as they can stay healthy, bro, against that Oklahoma City Thunder matchup, I feel very good. Even though Oklahoma City Thunder is rising as one of them teams to be messed with. But all right, TB.
It's gonna be a good
It's gonna
playoff
be a good
season,
playoffs. It's
boy.
gonna be, but man, for the family out there, man, appreciate you guys staying tuned. Um, all y'all go show some love to my boy TB, my boy Trill Buckets. Everything will be linked in the description down below. So get at
Yes,
him.
sir.
He dropped it. We just talked about Jalen Johnson. He dropped a great video on Jalen Johnson. He dropped a great video on CBA, man. Just great content creator, man. But
Video Monday coming out talking about the 2011 lottery picks.
oh,
What happened to him? What is a career like? Storytelling TB on the way. We
hey,
up.
man, I love it. I love it. I love it, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Get at them. And for
Yes,
us,
sir.
hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and shoot. For now, we out of here, y'all. Deuces.
We out.